of you may have heard this story already, but some of you have not. So I'll just tell this story. When I was 15 years old, my parents allowed me to spend a Saturday afternoon at a communist bookstore. So I went from my little town in Ohio all the way up to Cleveland, and I went to Cleveland Heights, Coventry area, and I went to a Marxist bookstore. And of course, that was like amazing for me to be able to be at a Marxist bookstore where they had the writings of Marx and Lenin and Mao and stuff like that on the wall, and books about Marxism was like amazing to me. But I will never forget something that happened when I was 15 years old. It was a life-changing moment. When some other communists, they patted 15-year-old me on the back, and they said, "We're going to go sell the paper." They handed me a stack of communist newspapers, and they said, "We are going to go sell the newspaper." And I must tell you, I looked at them, I was scared shitless. I said, "Wait a second, you want me to go out and go to people I don't know, people who might not agree with communism, people I've never met before, walk up to them randomly and try to sell them a newspaper about communism? Are you out of your mind?" And they said, "Nope, we do this all the time." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't do this." They said, "Nope, you got to do it." And I said, "Well, can I just give it to them if they don't?" No, got to get $1. It wasn't the people's world, unfortunately. Got to get $1. So I went out on the corner in Coventry, Cleveland Heights, Ohio. I walked up to people. You want an article on socialism? We got like a socialist paper. It's a newspaper that's really, really against George Bush. Do you want to get a copy? I was very, very nervous, extremely nervous. I was not comfortable doing that. And part of the reason I was uncomfortable is because my family had been particularly angry with me for being a communist and had urged me to stop expressing my views. At school, I would raise my hand in social studies classes and argue about communism. And my family had urged me to stop doing that. They said, "You're bringing a bad reputation to our family. You're embarrassing our family. Don't argue with communism. Don't be seen with Marxist books. You're embarrassing us." And I was being taught to be ashamed of my communist politics. And so being told that I should go out and talk to these people was the opposite of the message I was getting in my parents' household, from my brother, from other people. No, I was an embarrassment. Only idiots would believe in communism. Everyone knows capitalism is the only way, and if you go out and express the view that you're a communist, you look like a fool. I was constantly being given this negative feedback. But they told me to go out and sell that newspaper. And you know what? I sold one newspaper, and I sold another newspaper. I remember that day, I sold a newspaper to a guy, and I was wearing my Letterman's jacket because I had played sports in high school. I played soccer and whatever, so I was wearing my Letterman's jacket. And a guy saw the O on my jacket, for Orville, which is my hometown in Ohio. And he said, "Well, you know what, young man, I'll buy your newspaper because you go to Oberlin College, right? I see that O. I didn't go to Oberlin." I said, "Okay," and sold him the newspaper anyway. And it was a beautiful experience. I learned that day when I was 15, through the process of overcoming that fear and overcoming that nervousness, that I was damn good at selling newspapers. In fact, I read so much about communism, I'd argued with people so much about communism, I was pretty good at it. When people said, communism's evil, I had an answer. And it was such a beautiful, empowering experience. I didn't have to be ashamed of who I was. This was something I knew about. This was something I understood. This is something I could be proud of. I never stopped.